grab a beer, and pull up a chair. Welcome to the Northwoods Beer Guy Podcast. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Northwoods Beer Guy Podcast. This is Mike, the Northwoods Beer Guy, and I don't know if you can hear in the background, but we are back in the Northwoods. So you know what that means. That means I am here with BK.
Absolutely.
So, dude, this is our first episode from the Northwoods this season.
This season, absolutely. It's more like it's not even summer. I think we're back to spring. It's been out of order the entire year now, so.
We're sitting outside, as you can probably hear, but we're in sweatshirts and pants because it's like 55
degrees out.
Something like that. And it's...
which is good for beer, but not for us.
Yeah. So I hope everybody out there, all you guys, had a happy Father's Day last Sunday. And I know we did. So hopefully it'll be a good summer the rest of the time and have some more beers.
Absolutely.
So awesome. Well, you brought an interesting selection of beers here. So I'm going to let you kind of give the background on what we have, where they came from, how they got here, and then we'll kind of go from there, if that's all right.
Absolutely. So Wes, my son, who's been on a few podcasts, is in the Navy, and he's stationed out in Virginia. So for his birthday, his mother went out and visited him and probably made him clean his apartment and all that kind of stuff that moms do. And he decided to send back 5 different beers from Virginia. One of them is his go-to that he likes. But I think there are, 3 different breweries, I believe? 4 different breweries.
4, yep.
And just a selection. Now, he's a little more on he likes the fruited sours and he likes the fruited beers more than you and I typically do. But it's an interesting selection. I was impressed with what we did. Now, I know also that he's right beside a Kroger. He can walk to this Kroger. And his mother was a little disappointed that they didn't shop at Kroger. They went to Walmart. And first of all, Walmart's cheaper. But second, she didn't know that you could drink while you shop in Kroger. They have a little bar there.
Hold on a second. You can drink and shop
while you shop.
Kroger is like a grocery store, right?
Correct. So their carts actually have cup holders on them. So kudos to Kroger for the love of everything that's holy.
We need to get a Kroger close to us then.
We need it several, right?
Yeah.
Or, it doesn't have to be I would be okay as long as it's not a Target or Walmart or if they just put craft beer on tap.
It's always funny because when I go to the grocery store, I'm sure you have done this before, but you eat that one grape to see if it's, and then I'm paranoid thinking that they thought I stole it.
They're following you.
I can't believe what they'd do if I cracked open a 6-pack.
No kidding. And have the evidence, have a glass while you're wandering through the store. So she was a little disappointed they didn't shop there. They went to Walmart, but he has a really nice, they have aisles of craft beer in that particular Kroger.
Interesting.
And the few times I've been in Kroger's down towards the south, they've always had a pretty good beer selection. So this will be interesting.
Wep, for sure. And ladies and gentlemen, if you remember when we were in Florida, Wes was on, I think, 3 podcasts.
2 or 3 for sure.
2 or 3 for sure. So yeah, we were down there last year with him and went to some places in Florida that I had never heard of or been to. I know you had been to one of them before, but here again, he moved to Virginia, and now we get to try beers that, like I said, I don't think I've ever heard of any of these breweries, so it's going to really be interesting.
We know the state, that's about it.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Now we also talked earlier that if we like these, we'll be like, hey, our palates are, it shows how our palates are changing and developed and how we like any kind of beer. If we don't like them, then we're going to ask Wes, how can you drink this stuff?
It's entirely his fault. That's exactly how it's going to be.
So, best of both worlds for us.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
We're going to win either way.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, hey, we might as well get going. So I guess the first one we have is it Ballad?
I think it's Ballad Brewing, which is in...
They are in Danville,
Virginia.
And I went on to Untapped to see if there was a description, and they do have a short description on this one. This is in a pint can, and it's called Rainbow Sherbet, or sherbet, however you want to say it.
Yep.
It's a sour, it says, fruited sour, and it says a classic treat with a little tartness. We took our house sour and added rainbow sherbet and a touch of lactose for a creamy, fruit-forward dessert sour. This should be interesting. Now, like you said, I know Wes kind of likes the fruited beers and such, so we'll see.
And this is an absolute rainbow of a can.
It's pretty crazy.
We'll have to pull this one off and stick it on the bar. For those that don't know, we pull the labels off and stick them on the bar at Mike's place. So
if they're a cool label, then
I'm curious. Is it gonna be orange? Is it gonna be pink? Is it gonna be green?
Is it gonna be? Yeah, that should be interesting. I don't. Is it going to be some kind of muddled color?
It's hard to say.
That's kind of just
Turns out it's just beer color.
beer color. What, man? We had our hopes up, and just beer.
If we wait long enough, maybe it'll change.
It might change. Yeah. It definitely cannot see through it.
It
That's
is
for
cloudy.
sure. It is cloudy.
And there's floaters.
Ooh, boy, the aroma is tart.
That's very smart.
I smelled it, and my mouth started to water from like the tart reaction.
Yeah, it's not sour. It's tart. We've talked a lot about that, but
I thought it would be a little sweeter. You know what I mean? Listening to that description and kind of the trend in sours nowadays, they're real sweet. But this is, like you said, it's tart. It's not sour.
no, there's a difference. Sour beers I don't like necessarily, but yeah, I'm starting to get hints of other stuff. It's pretty cold yet.
Yeah,
I don't know
it's probably not going to warm up a whole lot.
Yeah, probably not.
Outside
We're
air
almost
temperature.
ambient, I'm sure.
Yeah. Boy, I wish it would have said a little bit more. Well, if it's rainbow, then typically that rainbow sherbet is
Berries. There's berries in there of
and,
some sort.
Something like that. It doesn't have a bad flavor.
No, and the tartness goes away.
Yeah.
It doesn't make your jaws clench too bad.
Right. You have that initial kind of tart on the swallow, and then it kind of goes away real quick.
Yeah.
So it's not bad.
No,
that
it's
way.
interesting. It's kind of basic. I don't want to say it's bad. It's basic. It's tart. I get some fruit, I get some citrus, and then that's about it. Like I don't, the lactose I'm lacking. Like I don't believe I get the sweetness from the lactose, and maybe they just have a little bit in there.
Yeah, and typically like a milk stout or things like that, it makes it kind of a smoother mouthfeel.
Yep.
I don't really pick that up on this one either.
This
really.
one's tart enough that it
might eat it away.
It still eats away at it a little bit. Yeah.
I guess I can see how Wes could drink it.
Yeah.
It's not terrible at all. I don't know if I could drink a full pint can. I might start towards the end. You might get a little.
This is liquid heartburn, right? If it were hot out. Wes and Noel and Wes both said he had not had any of these except for one of his go-to. One of these is his go-to beer. We'll talk about it in a minute, but they tried all of them because they came in 4-packs or 6-packs. But he hadn't had any of these except for one previously. So
okay.
He was doing a tasting as well.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I guess I could have saw if they'd have maybe had a little bit more of a fruit flavor. I think just my personal opinion, it's almost like I'm not going to say they missed the boat, but I think there was a definite potential for a little bit more fruity flavor to it.
Yep, it's basic. I will bet their basic sour is pretty tart.
Pretty tart. I bet you're right. Because if they, added lactose to this and
fruit
and whatever else they put in there, I bet
it'd be really tart.
Really tart.
Yeah. That would make your jaws clench, right? And honestly, I get a little bit of an IPA or a Citra hops. Like there's almost an IPA smell to it.
Yeah. Like I said,
the grapefruity smell.
Yeah. See, the first thing I noticed was just that tart smell. So you knew it was going to be tart, but like you said perfectly, it goes away instantly.
Yeah.
I mean, it lingers a little, very little.
Some of those that are super, super tart. Like when you were a kid and had too many sweet tarts in the movies and you like the Diet Coke won't make it go away. Yeah.
There you go. That's a good representation or a good comparison.
And it is cloudy as can be, as cloudy as our skies are right now.
Oh, yeah.
It is cloudy. It's not a filtered beer at all.
Boy, that is interesting. It's interesting. Like I said, I think it would be liquid heartburn eventually,
Yeah, if you had 4 of these, 4-pack or whatever.
I'd be like, oh.
Yeah, no, I don't. You'd be right in it. Have 2 beers and 2 omeprazole.
Where's the Tums at?
Yeah. I'm going to pour just a little more and see if I get more.
Yeah, I'll take a little bit more too if you would.
See if.
So like I said, it's not bad, but I wish they had a little bit more.
Yeah, I did turn the can several times to make sure it stirred up good.
It's stirred up. But like I said, I just think that part they might have missed it just a little bit. They had a lot of potential there because I know you've had it and I've had rainbow sherbet.
Yeah, sherbet.
Before, and there's so many different flavors in it, and it's just like I said, I feel like the sourness or tartness, I should say. I'm sorry, the tartness kind of overpowers or overshines everything. You don't get like a flavor like I was expecting.
There's no defining flavor to it. It's very citrusy.
Yeah,
which is not disappointing, but I expected more sweetness if it's going to be the sherbet.
Yep.
And those of you that think we're being silly, if you actually look at the word that you've pronounced sherbet your whole life, there's no it's not a silent one. It's an invisible one.
Exactly.
I would say on this one, if we're going to start talking numbers, I can't go a 3 on it. I'm thinking probably around a 2.7, 2.8. It's not bad.
Right. Oh, I'm sorry. Keep going.
Yeah, I expected a little more when when I'm looking at on the can and there's ice cream on it and I'm thinking lactose and a little sweetness, I didn't get any of that. So it's not a bad sour. It's more tart than sour, which I'm happy about. But I felt like they oversold, underdelivered, right?
Yep. I agree 100% with you because, like I said earlier, I think they had a real opportunity where they could have really had some flavors, kind of brought that sherbet flavor to the forefront a little bit, and still had the tartness. But like you had said, Brian, I get the tartness, but I really don't get anything that reminds me of that flavor.
No, it's all citrus. Maybe they lacked in the lactose department.
Or they didn't actually try the rainbow one. They just did like the lemon one or whatever it is.
Exactly. There is like I said, it's all citrus, and it just lacked a little. They had a palate and they didn't use it.
Yep, I agree. So you went a 2.7?
I went 2.7.
I think I'm going to go like a 2.5, to be honest. It's not bad, but I really wish it had more flavor.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
It's cool. This is the first beer from Ballad Brewing I've ever had. So
it's not a bad one. And we looked at their website. They had a bunch of other ones too. So hopefully I'll get out to visit my son at some point. And
so now what part of Virginia is he in?
So Wesley's in Suffolk, Virginia.
Okay. Yep.
And again, they spent some time in Norfolk, and they went to Virginia Beach. They did not a carrier tour, but they were on I'm not sure. He gave me the designation, but it's a helicopter boat, basically.
Oh, okay.
So they do search and rescue from that. It goes with the carrier battle group out, and it's actually it's not as big as the hospital ship, but they also take wounded and stuff. So Noel got to geek out medically on this ship too. So they had a lot of fun while we were there.
How does he like it compared to Florida? Because I know when we were down there, he said he really kind of didn't like the heat.
He said he bleeping hates Florida. He enjoys. I think he enjoys it now. He's got a job now. He's not in training. The stress of that is not there. Just got promoted. Congratulations!
Nice. Congratulations, Wes.
And he's E5 now. He golfs. He goes climbing. I think he's just kind of turning into a human. He doesn't have a job on a ship, right? So he works in an office, or he does cybersecurity and that kind of stuff. So a little different scenario than a lot of people, but you know what? He's still serving his country, and whether you're behind a keyboard or behind a monitor, and or if you're on a ship, God bless all those men and women that do that, and especially in today's climate, right? Yep. There's some nasty stuff going on, and my nephew he's in Germany in the army, and I worry about him more for sure than my son. But God bless you all that are out there doing it. It's great that people are still signing up to do that, because in today's climate, right? Yeah. It's kind of a mess, and that's just the way to.
Yeah, you got that right. So on that note, I think we should look at another beer that
I think we probably should. I'm looking. There's a bottle of water here, and I'm like, you know what? We should probably
maybe try to get rid of the sherbet.
The sherbet needs to get out of there.
I guess that's the one good thing about sitting outside. We can just kind of toss that.
We can toss that
to help the grass.
Exactly. So this one's kind of a cool looking can too. This is Pineapple Grenade. It's a pineapple wheat beer, and there's a kind of a funny looking a pineapple dressed up like an army guy.
And this is from Young Veterans Brewing Company, and they're out of Virginia Beach.
Yep. So this is a wheat ale brewed with pineapple puree.
Yep. And on Untapped, here's what they said. It said, "This is our refreshing take on a classic German style. This pineapple Hefeweizen explodes with sweet and tangy fruit flavors backed by fragments of spicy clove and banana. Go ahead, pull the pin."
Well, I didn't see banana on here.
Yeah.
It says a rich mouthfeel.
Well, we'll find out.
This is a little different on the can here.
Yeah.
This one says, "Frag out, our fruited wheat ale boasts a rich mouthfeel, full body, and shards." I don't know about shards. Shards of juicy pineapple. Pull the pin and toss one back. Experience the explosive wheat character, tangy fruit flavors, and notes of tropical bliss. So shards and bliss we're getting, I guess.
Okay, perfect.
I'm in.
What could go wrong?
I'm going to guess that this is going to be maybe pineapple colored.
Well, so I'm wondering, because now they have another one in here. So I may have read the wrong one, Brian, because that one said it was through 2020.
Oh.
So now this one, new 2023 recipe. It says now with quadruple the amount of pineapple. Frag out, our fruited wheat ale boasts a rich mouthfeel, full body, and shards of juicy pineapple Pull the pin and toss one back. Experience the explosive wheat character, tangy fruit flavors, and notes of tropical bliss. So this is the one we have.
Yeah, this is the one we've got.
So they just updated it. But quadruple the amount of pineapple.
Well, it is definitely a wheat beer colored.
Yes, it's definitely, it's not quite as cloudy as that first one.
No, but
it's still cloudy. You can't see through it at all.
I smell the pineapple.
The aroma is, to me, it's kind of fairly faint. It's not real in your face.
Okay, that's different. I don't know.
I'm not getting a whole lot of pineapple.
No, but there's a weird mouthfeel.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't know. I don't know how to say it. Because it says is it a different mouthfeel, a rich mouthfeel? There's something kind of odd. Maybe it's the clove.
It's got to be.
It has to be.
I'm sitting there going, okay. I faintly get the Hefeweizen.
Yeah, I get a little wheat.
I think it's the clove that. And it's not overpowering because we've had other clove beers that are overpowering.
It's weird. It's a weird mouthfeel.
But considering they said that there's 4 times the pineapple,
I'm not getting the pineapple.
I'm not getting it. I was hoping. Well, remember we were talking earlier. I'm like, it's either going to be like we're drinking the juice out of a can of sliced pineapple. That's not really it.
No, it's laid back in that regard. It's not very in your face pineapple-y compared to the can.
Right.
Those of you who look at the picture, it looks like you should, like it may be a pina colada with wheat in it, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's not bad. And I know I like Hefeweizens. You like Hefeweizen. But it's, like you said, it's
got to be the clove.
It's got to be. It's got to be.
It's not the shards.
Yeah, well, no.
Or the bliss.
Yeah. I think we've tasted bliss before.
Yeah, no, that's not it.
And that's not it at all.
Yeah,
interesting.
That's different. Like I said, both of these, because it talks about so much fruit in it, I went ahead and rolled the cans good to make sure.
Yeah. We'll have to find out from Wes what he thought of this one. Because like I said, I was expecting pineapple,
He might be your friend on Untappd. He might have rated them. I'll have to see.
We'll have to look. Let me look and see. I'm sure. A friend did. Nope, it wasn't him. It was another guy.
Somebody else.
Somebody else rated it.
I don't even know how to pronounce things now. The mouthfeel, which is the first time I think I've ever seen that on a label. Mm-hmm. There's just a weird feeling when you first sip it. And I think it's the clove. I really do.
The good thing is the clove isn't super powerful, but it's mixed in with the wheat.
Yeah, I'm not flashing back to days in the dentist chair and getting my wisdom teeth pulled, right?
Right.
I think anybody who as old as we are, right, and had their wisdom teeth out, probably all of us hate clove. Because that was what all those things tasted like, that packing or whatever they used.
Yeah.
There's a subtle something up front, and I don't get much pineapple at all. Mm-mm. I can smell it.
I know we've said this before. Jim has said it, 100,000 times. But my thing is, when that is the first word on your label,
it should be prominent.
If it's on the label, it should be in the can.
Yep.
And when it's the number one word in big letters, pineapple, you should be able to taste pineapple and know immediately. And myself, I don't get any.
Thankfully, we're not tasting grenade.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a whole different thing.
The wheat is there. The other thing that was the other one, right? That said banana.
Yes, that was the one that was from 2015 to 2020. So
right. This
one does not
say
anything about banana.
Because that can give you your mouth feel different. It's a different smoothness, right?
Yep. And say we've had a few banana beers, and it's almost like I don't want to say slicker. You know what I mean? It sort of feels like when you drink it,
right?
Like it's like, whoa, it's smoother.
It's a smoothness deal.
So yeah, I don't know. I guess on this one, dude,
it's weird.
I'm kind of bummed on it just because I was expecting a lot of pineapple, especially when it said quadruple the amount of pineapple.
Well, again, there's a pineapple marching with a hard hat, with a military hat on, right?
Yeah.
You expect it to be bursting with pineapple.
It should be my thought was very pineapple forward.
No, it's not. It smells. You can get the aroma.
Yeah,
of pineapple. But it's very faint.
But it's faint. But it's more pronounced than the flavor.
Yeah, it tastes more like a Hefeweizen than it does a pineapple or a fruited.
I agree 100% with you. Score wise, I'm going like a 2.3. On this, just because that is the focus and the big push is the pineapple.
Right.
Like you said, the character on there, the huge pineapple word, and I just get a very faint aroma and no taste myself.
It's lacking the pineapple for sure. I'm with you. 2.3, 2.4, somewhere right in there. It's not even. I'm disappointed by it. I was kind of excited about that. And we talked about it before we got the mics out. Which ones are you kind of interested in? And this was one of them because I like pineapple beers. I like pineapple in general.
Right.
But that's a little disappointing. Actually, the Hefeweizen portion of it tastes really good. It's a well-blended Hefeweizen.
Yep.
It doesn't taste gritty or grainy, and maybe some of the pineapple mellowed that out. I'm not sure, but I like I always told you, growing up in Kansas, wheat all around us, and wheat harvest time, it tastes dusty.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
This one does not. So I'd be interested just to have their Hefeweizen. Right. That was actually the wheat portion of that's really good.
I agree because any wheat beer has that flavor. Once if you hand you or myself a beer and it's blind taste test, if you can tell it's a wheat beer just like that.
Immediately.
This one isn't quite as noticeable. And like you said, I'd love to try just the regular Hefeweizen. And maybe you're right. It could be that the pineapple kind of balances that out. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
But man, if
you blind tasted this, we'd know it was a Hefeweizen, but we couldn't have guessed any of the other ingredients.
I wouldn't have guessed a pineapple at all. All right, well, Wes picked that one out.
Yep. So far, he's not batting
he's
very
not
well.
batting the greatest.
Yeah,
and it's like I said before, it's not terrible by any means, but it's just I wish there was more.
Yeah.
So the next one. And this is one I think we both are really kind of interested in. This is by Commonwealth Brewing, and they are out of Virginia Beach as well.
Yep.
And this is, they have their description. It is Kook's Orange Creamsicle India Pale Ale. Their description is IPA with orange and vanilla.
Well, obviously they're people a few words. This is actually 6.5%. So this one's
what was the first one was 4.4, and this was
the pineapple wheat beer's 5.5.
5.5. So this is 6.5. 6.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which for an IPA is fairly up
Now, I don't know if you listened to last week's episode.
I have not yet.
But Jim and Julie were on there, and we did an entire episode on the different levels of IPA. So we started off, the first beer we had was a pale ale, just a pale ale.
Right.
Then it went to an APA, American Pale Ale, an IPA, a double, a triple, and a quadruple. And
now they have West Coast IPAs.
Oh yeah, they have we didn't go to West Coast or hazy because we've done other episodes where we had a lot of those on there too. But I know they had never had a whole lot of the different levels, so
styles,
to speak.
right.
And it was kind of crazy because honestly, Jim and Julie both kind of liked them. And the only thing that really went up was the ABV. I mean, none of them were I figured every step we went up higher, it was going to get hoppier and hoppier.
Were they all the same brand?
They were not the same company.
So
Boulevard
makes them all.
Yes.
And I remember the first time I ever had a pale ale, I think it was probably Boulevard Pale Ale. Or it was Boulevard, I'm trying to remember. Boulevard is...
Sierra Nevada has the all-day
Kansas,
IPA.
Yeah, Kansas City, though. Boulevard's out of Kansas City.
Yes.
This is the first one. And Boulevard Pale Ale, that was a good beer. It still is a good beer.
It's still a good one.
It's kind of an everyday, all-day drinker,
Yep, exactly. So this is their creamsicle.
Creamsicle. So I half expect this to be a little bit orange. We'll find out. It's a little foamy.
I know we've had a couple other beers that are orange creamsicle, and actually one of them tasted just like a creamsicle. So I'm kind of hoping we get at least somewhat of that.
It actually looks like orange juice.
Yeah, it's definitely a more orange color than what your normal pale ale is. And again, you can't see through it.
You can't see through it, no. So we're getting some actual nutrients with it.
Smells like an IPA.
Yep, smells like an IPA. There's a little sweetness to it in the smell.
Ooh, there's a little bit.
That's smooth.
There's a little bit of a weirdness on the finish. But other than that, that's good.
But that's a real orange taste, right?
Yep,
It's like a rind almost, like they may have some peel in there. That's actually pretty damn good.
That's pretty good. I don't mind that. It's a good thing we picked that one.
That's right.
Yeah, that's...
I don't get a whole lot of vanilla, but I think that might be kind of the weirdness at the end is the vanilla hanging on.
It could be.
No, and that's again,
good.
That is... It looks like if you've ever been to a diner not a diner. If you've ever been to a hotel and you go down and get orange juice off the complimentary breakfast,
yeah,
I think that's the color of the orange juice that usually comes out of the machine.
That's a good comparison because it looks like where it's orange juice, but it's kind of on the verge of not
of tainted water.
yeah. There's something they mixed.
That's just
there.
The color, not the taste. No. This is actually a pretty good beer, and
of the three, this is my favorite so far.
It's not hoppy.
This is not bad.
It's not hoppy at all.
The aroma is more hoppy than what the flavor is, and that's got to be the vanilla
at the end.
I would think.
There is for sure, you can taste the raw orange,
Yes.
which I enjoy oranges. Just, I usually throw one in my bag before I go to work. What's the one we had? The Kentucky one that has a tangerine. That's super orangey tart, like tangerine cream ale or whatever it was.
Yeah, the tangerine cream in the barrels.
In the barrel, yeah. And that one was too much. This is a well balanced.
Yeah.
I don't get any IPA except for smell.
Yeah, I say the aroma is the only thing I get that really tells you it's an IPA. The aroma smells like an IPA, but boy, the flavor is definitely orange, and like you said, it's got to be that vanilla on the end.
This is actually more sour than the sour we had. To me, because oranges get a little bit sour.
Yeah, I would agree.
They're not. It's not tart, right?
Yeah.
No, that's an interesting one. I like that.
Yeah. So Commonwealth Brewing.
Which kind of, when I first thought of it, he told me it was Commonwealth Brewing. On the next one is the one that his go-to that he always has a few in the fridge. I was thinking Pennsylvania because I used to manage telecommunications equipment, and it was always the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, right?
Oh, sure.
So I was thinking, is it a Pennsylvania? No, it's Virginia, Dad.
Why would I have Pennsylvania?
That's exactly what he said. Well, I didn't know. He goes, it's still Virginia's a Commonwealth, Dad. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And 8th grade social studies had to come back.
Well, your mind is full of other stuff.
I got stuff going on.
I don't mind this at all.
No.
And like I said, you and I will drink IPAs. I know there's like we talked about on the last episode, Jim and Julian and myself, that, IPAs are they're kind of one of those styles that you love them or hate them.
Yeah, they're polarizing.
They're very polarizing. And this is I think a person that has never had an IPA could drink this and not be offended at all. Other than the aroma. The aroma, they're going to instantly think, oh, this is going to be super hoppy. Not at all.
No, it's not.
And
if you were ever going to try to branch into a fruited beer, right? Another one wouldn't be a bad one to start with. It's not overpowering. It tastes like actual fruit. It's not the fake like weed. It doesn't taste like Tang.
Right.
And vanilla.
Right.
It tastes like oranges, and I get a little bit of bitterness, like maybe there's some orange peel in it too.
There could very well be. Yeah.
No, that's a well balanced beer.
That's
that by far at this point is the top of the list. That's interesting. It's blended well. It tastes what it says.
Yeah,
again,
exactly.
Truth and advertising.
What it says on the can is in the can. So
now we can't say that about the next one coming up because that would put us in a weird situation.
Yeah,
this is a really good beer. If I was going to go,
wow.
If I were going to go numbers on this, this is right up about a 3.2, 3.3 for me, I think.
Yep, I was going to say this is for sure a 3.1. I'd go 3.1. 3.1. Yeah, I'll go 3.1. Yeah, I agree with you. I knew this was definitely it was over a 3 because this is what it says it tastes like, and again, like I had said before, I got the aroma of the IPA, but you didn't get the bite or the hop type flavor, and
there was zero hop.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
And again, I do think that kind of weirdness at the end is the vanilla wearing itself off, right?
It's got to be.
But I'm sure that helped kill some of the hop flavor too.
Yeah, it has to be because, like I said, the vanilla wasn't super pronounced, but I'll guarantee that's what it was. Because
no doubt.
After you said it, it's like I can see that. That's the vanilla.
That's another ingredient that can be overpowering. It can be wonderful. It can be weird. Vanilla is one of those oddities that, depending on what it's with, can really change the character and the smoothness. It can affect everything on a beer. And we've had some really bad ones, and we've had some really good ones. And I think they used a lot more in dark beers and high ABV to kind of hide that alcohol, right?
Yep. I would agree with you 100% because we've had some that are super vanilla forward, and you're like, oh, the first taste is pretty good. And then after that, you're like, I'm kind of getting vanillaed out a little bit,
right. That's right. No, that was a good beer for sure. All right, so this next one is my son's go-to,
and the one that we're going to do next.
The one we're doing next.
Okay.
So this again, truth in advertising. The name of this beer is Pool Noodle. So I'm not gonna. I hope it doesn't taste like a pool noodle.
Is it going to be the green one or the blue one?
Not that I've had a pool noodle before.
I'm pretty sure we've all been hit with a pool noodle before.
Absolutely.
But
and I have zero. This is just an American lager.
Well, here I'll look up on Untappd. I shirked my duty, Brian. I apologize.
Jeez.
I was too busy spacing off there, I think.
I was worried you were looking up questions you're going to quiz me about.
No. Okay, this is one is by Commonwealth as well?
This is Commonwealth Brewing as well.
And this is 5.3%.
Yep.
And They have absolutely no description on Untapped.
It's an American Merca. It's an American lager, and he says this is go-to. So
okay,
let's give it a whirl.
Let's give it a shot.
I expect this to be a little darker than our last 3 beers. It's a lager, and it is lighter than all of them.
I was gonna say the color is.
I expect it to be a little darker than that.
That is kind of crazy, dude. I thought it was gonna be because your classic lager is almost, it's not amber, but it's closer to that than like a clear Pilsner yellow.
This is Pilsner
color.
Or wheat color.
Yeah, or wheat. Yeah, or like a lemon shandy color almost.
That smells like a lager.
Oh, yeah. That smells good.
Oh, yeah. That's a good beer.
Boy, that's almost got a...
He's not wrong.
Almost a little bit of a fruit hint almost. I mean, it's a little bit of a sweetness there.
Way up front, and then it's got that, I've talked about before, that brewed taste. Like iced tea, like sun tea. It's got that kind of tartness at the end, it's not bitterness.
That's interesting.
That is a really good beer. Kudos, son, for picking that one. I'll give you credit on that one. That one is I could drink I could drink too many of those.
Yeah. Yeah. At 5.3. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I mean, flavor wise, it's one of those that, you could drink 3, 4, 5 of them. You know what I mean? And yeah, you wouldn't get burned out from the flavor.
I'm telling you right now, they nailed that.
Yeah. That's a good one.
That is, as far as just a basic lager, that is really well blended. And like you said, a little bit of sweetness up front.
Yep.
No bitterness in the head at all. No weird aftertaste. That is a fantastic beer.
It says on the label too, it's family owned and operated, the brewery. So that's cool.
That is awesome.
I give them credit. Their labels they're kind of out there.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
they are.
Not like some of the sours and IPAs where you got the wizards and dragons and stuff, but this is just like kind of a design, whatever. You'll see the pictures. But I give them credit. This is pretty good. And then they got the band with here's the beer. Yep. You know?
No, that is a fantastic.
I still can't believe the color though.
I can't either. I'm really, I was thinking, well, Budweiser, that was a darker beer when I was growing up, right?
Sure.
And it was darker colored. This is absolutely a Pilsner, like a light colored Pilsner.
Yes, a light Pilsner almost. Or yes, a Hefeweizen kind of color. That is wild. But boy, I tell you, that's a good flavor. I do enjoy that.
That is and that's an everyday drinker.
Yep.
You wouldn't seek that out to have a special beer after a big dinner or something, but you could have 3 of them while you're making dinner.
Yep, exactly.
Maybe not so much at 5.3%, but that is
for a beer where you come home after work, you're like, I'm just going to grab a beer. This would be easy drinking,
relax,
sit there, and this would be totally good.
That is a really good beer.
So score wise,
man,
what do you think?
I'm really impressed with this one. I was given, my son. And he told me this is his go-to beer. So I was really wanting to try this one. And now I'm glad he sent one. This is a really, really well blended and smooth lager. Sometimes lagers can get a little bit up front in your face, right? A little too malty or, barley or whatever it is up front. They get a little grainy. This one is not. It's a sweet start. It's got a smooth finish. There's no aftertaste. Oh man, this is a tough one. I gotta go probably a 3-2, 3-1, 3-2 on this. It is a really good lager.
Yep.
I don't know that I've ever had a lager of this type better, honestly.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna go a 3.0 just for the simple fact that I think I like that IPA just one notch better. Mm-hmm. But for just I hate to say it, for a plain lager, you know what I'm saying? I hate to say it that way, but this is really good.
It is, and it's
really good.
I don't know the difference between I'm sure it's all hops and whatever. A German lager, an American lager. I'm sure. I don't know that Canada has one, but I'm sure there's other lagers out there.
Yep.
Whatever they did with this one, it is really good.
Oh, I agree. And like I said, I am not knocking this one at all because this is one, like I said before, you could come home on a hot day, just grab one, go sit outside and have a nice cold beer.
And not even think about mowing the grass.
Exactly.
Just stare at the grass.
Yep. So I really like it. And like I said, the only reason I put it one notch down is I really did like that creamsicle.
I did too.
That flavor was really good. That's the only reason.
Well, but they're 2 different beers, right? One's a pale ale, one's a lager. So you're not really, it's apples and oranges, literally, when it's creamsicle, right? No, that's a good beer. So, Wes, when you come home, you should probably bring some more of that.
Hint, hint.
Hint, hint. Nudge, nudge.
So, okay, there, I found the next one already. Boy, that's good. I was impressed, man.
That one impressed me.
The last 2 have been very good. So, Commonwealth Brewing, they seem like they're doing a pretty good
They're
job.
doing a good job.
I mean, both of their beers that we had were that's the top two right now.
For sure.
You know,
And it's a toss up. Some days I would like the lager, and some days I'd probably like to have the creamsicle.
Yep, exactly. Well, I suppose we can try this last one here, and this is from Virginia Beer Company. The Virginia Beer Company, and they're out of Williamsburg. And this is their short stack Imperial Maple Brown Ale, 8% ABV. This one is one I've been really waiting to see.
We've been eyeing it.
And I'm hoping, is it going to be like you're eating, a stack of pancakes with maple syrup, or is it going to be just, it's not like you get a lot of pancake flavor out of any beer. So it's going to be, how high is that maple?
Well, and brown
flavor?
ales are typically not flavorful.
Right.
And the description on here says ale with maple syrup.
All right. They have more on Untapped here. It says brewed with, in quotes, pretty much all the maple syrup. Then it says, a breakfast beer, if ever there was one. This Imperial Brown Ale perfectly stacks a robust malty backbone with gallons upon gallons of pure Vermont maple syrup. Sticky, sweet, warming, so good we made it a double order because we know you'll be back for more.
Interesting that they went to Vermont.
Yeah. Of course, I guess you think of Vermont being more maple syrup than Virginia, but this is going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to this one. I'm thinking it could be. I'm hoping it's not like so mapley that you're like, ugh.
Yeah, but that can be another polarizing ingredient, right?
Yep. Sometimes it has been. Now this one is slightly darker than all the other ones that we've had.
Pretty much like midnight and noon.
Yeah.
It is, for a brown ale, it's actually pretty dark.
Yeah. You can definitely tell it's brown, though. It's not like they're really dark, like a stout or porters and such. So it's a brown ale.
It's a light-colored porter and a dark brown ale.
Yep.
All at the same time.
The head is kind of that lighter, kind of a tannish.
I don't get much in the smell.
I don't get an aroma.
Unfortunately, I pour mine first, and I get a little more head on it, and I let it down there.
Well, let's see.
Oh, yeah, there's maple syrup.
But it's not over the top.
Nope. And there's...
Man, that almost reminds me of...
I know the beer you're talking about, too. I'm trying to think of it, too.
Dang it. You know which one I'm talking about.
I do.
Because it tastes very similar.
Very similar.
I'll keep thinking about it.
Let's see.
But this isn't bad.
No. It's really maple up front. And I don't mind maple. This wouldn't be one I'd drink 2 or 3 of, but...
The aftertaste, kind of you get almost that burnt coffee taste.
It's the brown ale portion of it.
Yeah.
If you think of what's the one up here that is everywhere, it's nut brown ale. Not Sam Smith. It's not Angry Minnow either.
No, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's the most common one.
As soon as we get done,
Ale-Smith.
There you go.
Ale-Smith.
Yep.
Nut brown ale, and it's because that one's kind of got the bitter brown taste.
Yep.
It's like that with extra maple syrup, but at 8%, that's pretty.
I wouldn't have guessed it was 8%.
No, I'd have been right at that 5.5.
And
maybe
it's funny because I know, ladies and gentlemen, that you've heard me say that 100 times. But there's beers that are 8% or higher that you can tell are this is higher alcohol, and then there's the ones that whatever they do, some of it is flavoring, some of it is other stuff, but where you can't even tell. I mean, this one this didn't taste any stronger than any of those other ones.
No,
That
what was the one that we had that was Monkey Bar?
Monkey Bar, yep.
That was like 9 or 10% or whatever it was.
9.5 or something.
And you couldn't tell at all. It was fantastic.
Well, like on last week's episode, we had the quadruple IPA was 12.5.
Right.
You couldn't tell at all.
No.
And even Julie, Jim's wife, was like, I never would have thought, that it was that high.
Well, those again, you got to feed the yeast, right? To get it that high.
Yep.
So you got to figure they're putting a lot of sugar in there.
Well, and when I talked to my brother about it, because he's trying to get like an imperial, he's trying to get a beer that's up around that 12, 14%. And he said, man, he struggles because the vast majority of yeast will die out at like 8 to 9. So he's been trying a bunch of different things. And so, yeah, it's interesting to see. He had said on one of the episodes kind of what they have to do to kind of get it going again.
Well, the other thing, too, is most of the time when you see a high ABV beer, almost any time anymore, it's barrel-aged, right?
Right.
So the barrel itself already has a lot of sugar and char and all that stuff. So I think when they do that, from what I was reading not too long ago, that also helps with that yeast is processing what's in the barrel, so you don't have to add as much to do it. But
yep.
This is for a maple for brown ale, it's pretty smooth.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's a little maple heavy up front.
Little maple heavy
for my taste.
And then you do get, like I said, you get that. At first, it reminded me of like a burnt coffee ground kind of flavor, but that is the nut brown.
It's the start of a porter. That's how I like to refer to it.
There you go. Yeah.
It's a watered down porter.
It's a porter that didn't finish. It's
That's right. It's an underachieving porter.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. It's not bad, though. I don't mind it.
No.
And this one, again, was in a pint can. So, I mean, you're pot committed when you open it.
Exactly.
But
thankfully, we have help to drink the rest of these.
Yeah. I said, well, we'll finish them. We ain't going to deny that.
There'll be no dumping.
But I don't know. I think towards the end of the can, if you drank it all myself, I might start to kind of get burnt out of that finishing flavor.
Right. I agree. I absolutely agree. And it's almost like if you were to take that flavor and go a step further, you're at a stout or a porter, right?
Right.
And then we're happy.
Yes.
Right? This was like when you hear a melody and you know the song and they leave the last note off.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like,
there's more.
There's one more note. One more note.
Well, and it's like if you remember when Jim and I did the non-alcoholic beer
beers,
every one of those was the same way, where it was like you're waiting for that finish,
for
and
it
it's
to be
just
beer.
not there. It's just not there. So I'm like,
it's flavored water.
Yeah, it's like, I think I'd just rather drink the beer than this non-alcoholic stuff. So score-wise, I think I'm going to go like a 2.7.
I was going to say 2.8. It's better than average.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I give them credit for the ABV and that it's up there. The brown ale probably itself is pretty darn good.
Yeah.
They could have laid off a little bit of the maple and just for my taste. But other than that, it's a good beer. I mean, it's not bad.
This reminds me of the vanilla porter by
Kentucky.
No. The one. It's the one that I got to look it up because it's the beer that they're known for. Hang on.
Not Brow Brothers.
No. Let's see.
I know which one you're talking about too.
I know.
I can see the can in my head.
As I say it, you're going to be like, duh.
Vanilla porter is.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen,
you're
I'm so upset.
A couple old guys that can't remember
I'm so upset. Well, we've tried so many beers, it's hard to remember exactly, but it tastes like the Breckenridge. Breckenridge vanilla porter. That's what it reminds me of.
It does. The brown part of it, anyway.
Yes. Because once the maple's gone, it has kind of that flavor to it.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely.
So, I apologize for, like I said, I was spacing off.
As soon as you got the B out, I was with it. I was with you 100%.
So boy, I guess overall, Brian, what are you thinking? What were your two favorites, or I guess overall, what did you think of Virginia beers? This little tour of Virginia, and then what would you say were your top?
It makes me want to go to Commonwealth Brewing for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
If they can put a lager and a creamsicle pale ale, India pale, an IPA like that, it makes me want to go to their tap room, right? I was really impressed with the pool noodle. It's just a lager, but I was really impressed. The IPA was good. The pineapple and the fruited sour were a little disappointing. They weren't bad beers, but to your point, they didn't taste like they advertised. And pool noodle being with the asterisk, it doesn't taste like it advertises either, but we're not going to eat any glue, and we're not going to eat pool noodles.
It tastes like styrofoam.
The short stack we just had, again, is pretty good. So it's a toss-up between, I'm going to say whether the sun's out, I'm on a boat, or sitting in a lawn chair, whether I'm going to have the lager or the pale ale, right? Yep. Those two are both really good beers, and then probably the short stack. The other two, again, were just a little disappointing. Hopefully we didn't get a bad can, and we're not. Right. They weren't bad beers, and I don't want to badmouth anybody from Danville or from Virginia Beach as far as the brewing. They just didn't stack up to what I thought they should taste like.
Yep.
But again, kudos to Commonwealth Brewing. Both of those beers were really good.
Yeah, I agree. The only difference I had is, I think, as of right now, I put it this way, my number one was the IPA, my 1A was the lager, and then the next one was a short stack.
Yeah.
I think overall it was really cool because, like I said, I've never even heard of these breweries, and I'm almost positive I've never had a beer from any of these. And so that's really cool. So thank you so much, Wes, for sending them back.
Absolutely.
And again, those first two
out of 3, 2 out of 5 wasn't bad.
Yeah.
You're learning.
Yeah. But those last two, again, I just think they had so much potential that if they had a little bit more flavor, and that second one, if the name's a pineapple and your logo is a pineapple guy, it's got to taste like pineapple.
Got to taste like pineapple. Or call it a Hefeweizen with a touch of pineapple,
Yeah.
right?
Then it would have been a whole different situation.
Yeah, if there'd have been a head of wheat with army boots on
Yes.
running across the can, we'd have been, this
That's
is
not bad.
not too bad.
Not bad, but the fact that we just didn't taste it. And then, like I said, the short stack, I don't mind it. It's decent, and I do get the maple. Like you said, it's up front, and then at the backside, it's like almost like Breckenridge, which is still a good beer.
Yeah.
But, it's just
a little on the vanilla side.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It could have had a touch more maple flavor that kind of hung on just a little bit. So,
Not
but yeah,
bad.
no, other than that, I think they were all good. I'm glad that we got to try them, and hopefully we'll get to try some more. Maybe Wes will find some more.
Absolutely.
Hint, hint.
Hint, nudge, nudge. Bring them back with you.
I can send you my birthday so you can send some back.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So awesome. Well, cool. Well, hey, Brian, I guess we can wrap this up for today. But this is our first episode from the Northwoods.
Up north.
And like I said, it isn't going to be our last. And in fact, I think we're going to go to a local little bottle shop here and just check out what they got. So you never know. We may be coming back at some point.
Could be another one this week.
Could be another one. You never know.
Yep.
But we're going to go check it out.
We're not scared. Let's put it that way.
No. We did not get burned out by these 5 beers. So, Wes, once again, like we said, thank you so much, man.
And thank you for your service.
Yes, thank you for your service. Thank you, everybody in the military and, the first responders, firefighters, police, everything. I mean, thank you so much for what you guys and gals do for all of us. So we can sit here and drink beer and talk like we know what we're talking about.
Be merry.
Yeah, there you go. Well, awesome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for listening. Like we always say, we hope your campfire is always warm.
And the beer is always cold.
See ya. Thank you for listening to the Northwoods Beer Guy podcast. If you have a question, a comment, or a beer you'd like us to review, please feel free to send us a message at northwoodsbeerguy@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you're on Untapped, look up Northwoods Beer Guy and send a friend request. Until next week, I hope all your campfires are warm and all your beer is cold.